He killed people for fun. He wrote letters to the police to prove it, and he was never caught. It was December 20th, 1968. Vallejo, California, a quiet road, a parked car. Two teenagers, David Faraday, 17 years old, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16. They were on their first date. They were found shot dead the next morning. David had a bullet in his head. Betty had 5 bullets in her back. She had tried to run. She didn't make it far enough. Nobody knew it yet. But this was the beginning of something America had never seen before. 6 months later, July 4th, 1969, same city, Vallejo. A young couple, Darlene Farron, 22, and Michael Majo, 19, parked at Blue Rock Springs Park. A man walked up to their car. No warning, no words. He opened fire. Darlene died. Michael survived barely. He described the shooter as a heavyset white male. Nothing more. Police had 2 attacks, 2 crime scenes, no suspect, no motive, no name. Then the letters came. July 31st, 1969. 3 letters arrived simultaneously at the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald. Each letter contained 1/3 of a coded cipher. The writer demanded the newspapers publish the cipher on the front page. He threatened to go on a killing spree if they refused. He signed the letter with a symbol, a circle with a cross through it, like a crosshair, like a scope. He called himself the Zodiac. The letters described the murders in precise detail, details only the killer could have known. The newspapers published the cipher. A school teacher named Donald Hardin and his wife Betty cracked the code within days. What it said made the entire country go cold. It read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." He wasn't just a killer. He was an entertainer, and the whole country was his audience. September 27th, 1969, Lake Berryessa, Napa County. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were having a picnic by the lake. A man appeared. He was wearing a black hood over his head. On his chest, the Zodiac symbol. He tied them both up. Then he stabbed them repeatedly. Cecilia died 2 days later. Brian survived. He told police the attacker spoke calmly. No rage. No panic, just quiet, methodical violence. This was not a man losing control. This was a man in complete control. October 11th, 1969, San Francisco. A taxi driver named Paul Stein, 29 years old, picked up a fare in downtown San Francisco. He was shot in the head at point-blank range. The killer tore off a piece of Stein's shirt. He kept it as a trophy. 2 police officers stopped a man matching the description nearby that very night. They let him go. Dispatch had given them the wrong description. They were told the suspect was a black male. The Zodiac was white. He walked away, 15 feet from the officers, and disappeared into the dark. Then another letter arrived, with a piece of Paul Stein's blood-stained shirt attached to it. Proof. He wrote to the Chronicle and said, "I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." He couldn't even spell paradise correctly, but he could evade an entire country's law enforcement without a single mistake. November 8th, 1969. The Zodiac sent his most complex cipher, yet 340 characters of pure code, to the San Francisco Chronicle. Cryptographers, mathematicians, government codebreakers, everyone tried. Nobody could crack it. It sat unsolved for 51 years. 51 years. 2 generations of investigators stared at it and failed. Then in December 2020, during a global pandemic, 3 men sitting at their computers cracked it. David Orenchak, a software developer from the United States. Sam Blake, a mathematician from Australia. Jarl van Eyck, a warehouse worker from Belgium. Together, they built custom decryption software and broke open the cipher after half a century. What it said was chilling. "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise." No name, no location, no clue, just arrogance. 51 years of arrogance. The Zodiac claimed he killed 37 people. Police confirmed only 5 murders and 2 attempted murders. The rest, unknown. The FBI investigated over 2,500 suspects. 2,500. and still nothing conclusive. The most suspected name was Arthur Lee Allen, a schoolteacher from Vallejo. Handwriting analysis pointed to him. Investigators believed he was the man. But DNA extracted from the Zodiac's letters did not match Allen. He died in 1992, without ever being charged, without ever being proven innocent either. 2 of the 4 ciphers, the Z13 and the Z32, remain unsolved to this day. Some investigators believe they contain the Zodiac's real name. Others believe they contain nothing at all, that he put them there simply to watch the world chase its own tail. Even in death, or wherever he is still winning. The last confirmed Zodiac letter arrived on July 8, 1974. Then silence. No more letters, no more attacks that could be confirmed. He simply stopped, or he died, or he became someone nobody ever suspected. A neighbor, a colleague, a quiet man who drove past crime scenes and smiled to himself. Nobody knows. That is what makes this case unlike anything else in the history of crime. Most killers make a mistake. Most killers leave something behind. A fingerprint, a witness, a confession. The Zodiac left only puzzles. He controlled the investigation. He controlled the media. He controlled the fear of an entire nation. And then he vanished on his own terms. America had its best detectives on this case. The FBI, the San Francisco Police Department, the Napa County Sheriff, the Vallejo Police, all of them, for decades. And not one of them could put a name to that crosshair symbol. There are cases where justice is delayed. There are cases where justice is incomplete. And then there is the Zodiac, where justice never arrived at all. Where a killer sat somewhere, read the newspapers about himself, and laughed. Where 5 confirmed victims died, and their families spent their entire lives waiting for an answer that never came. Some monsters are caught. Some are stopped by their own mistakes. But the Zodiac made no mistakes. He was disciplined. He was intelligent. He was patient. And he understood one terrifying truth, that if you never reveal who you are, the world can never touch you. He isn't just a case in a file somewhere. He is a reminder. A reminder that evil can be organized. Evil can be calculated. Evil can walk past 2 police officers on a dark San Francisco street and disappear forever. Goodbye for now, and I will see you very soon in our next story. Until then, stay safe, stay aware, and never forget crime never wins in the end.